What up, you guys, and welcome to the SNES Geek Show. So you know that feeling you've got when you realize you have forgotten something, and then you realize, oh, I did it. Well, I don't have that feeling today, because I remember that today is the 10-year anniversary of the SNES Geek Show. Yes, I have been doing these reviews for 10 years at this point, and what's a better review to do than to actually remake the very original review I ever did. The original is pretty bad, but of course standard for the very first game review of anyone. So yeah, let's see what 10 years of experience has done to my channel and my video editing skills. What is it now? Oh wait, I did forgot something. Oh yeah, I don't know what it is. Cue the intro. It's time. The time has finally come, everyone. I'm the SNES Geek, and welcome to the SNES Geek Show. Yes, the time has arrived for me to officially, truly, genuinely say that the SNES Geek has officially turned 10 years old as of this Saturday when this video goes up. 10 years, it's been insane. I mean, it doesn't even feel that long ago, despite the fact that it was. It was like 3,605 days, right? Well, I hope so. So yes, I've been around on this YouTube channel, well, this particular YouTube channel for 10 years. Now, I did have a previous YouTube channel, some of you may notice, called the Mr. Banana Boy, but the SNES Geek was the first game review channel, and I had loads of expectations for this before it came out. I had the intention of becoming like really famous really fast, something I didn't. I had fun, there's been ups and downs, you know. I really like this channel. I'm great at where I am in life with this channel. Thank you so much for sticking around. So the game in question is actually going to be the very first game I bought myself through online when I had become old enough. That is Wavery 64 for the Nintendo 64. So this game was one of the earliest titles for this very console way back when. It actually won tons of awards, and it was actually quite praised for a lot of aspects that it actually did give the player, which is great within itself. So you have 4 characters to choose from. All of them got different stats, and they all are different in their own right. We got lightweight, we got medium weight, speedy, as well as the heavy type. Now you can also personalize your racer to actually adjust all of that. But at the end of the day, just because you can max out on all of them doesn't mean that you should. It's really all about balancing everything. Yes, I got a perfectly balanced jet ski on everything, on all the settings. Well, that's not really working out well, does it? Now you have to really keep it balanced, like all things should be. Alright, so after picking the character, it is now time to begin the game itself. And it is a jet ski racer, something not very common in video games. Even at the time, this was rather unknown. Now, this game did start out at the Nintendo Game Boy, and then got a sequel for Nintendo 64 like this. And then it even got a sequel for the GameCube in 2001. But sadly, that hasn't really been anything more of this franchise. It has been lying dormant since then. Is it dead? Possibly. Since Nintendo hasn't done anything with them, I guess you can consider them dead, or at least, well, whatever. So yeah, this is a basic jet ski racer. You boost up, and then you get going. Now, obviously, you use the control stick to control your racer, and then boost with the A button. That is the usual shtick at the time. Now, if you want to actually stick around in this game as long as possible, you actually have to pass through these bougies which is around the course. There is yellow and red. And if you miss one of them, then you will lose power, which is shown in this meter. Because every time you pass through one of them in succession, your meter will increase, the power meter. And when you have the power meter, you can go super duper fast. Now, obviously, that doesn't sadly mean that you are going to automatically win. It actually takes some skill to actually stick around in this race. You can't simply just breeze right through it. And now, given the fact that this was made during a time when 3D gaming wasn't really a thing, or was actually brand new, you know, the early days of 3D gaming, there's some difficulties, especially with control stick. Now, I play with a Hori control pad, which is like a slimmed down N64 controller with a much better control stick added. That obviously being one from the GameCube, or at least something similar like that. It works really, really well, and it's very convenient for this type of game. For you see, a Nintendo 64 analog stick tends to be very sloppy when you play nowadays. But this stick is perfect, it's amazing. Of course, you do see me fail a little bit, but that's because it just took some time for me to actually remember how the waves and everything actually operates. Now, this game actually did get tons of press time for exactly that. It's wave physics. Yes, it received praise because it was very realistic, the water looked very beautiful, and it overall felt like it was very much a randomized set of waves, which was quite impressive at the time. And even when you play this game today and even watching this footage, you can think, yeah, you know, that wasn't actually that bad. It was pretty amazing. And I'm inclined to agree. They did a really good job with this. As for how you can really only progress through this game if you're able to actually do well all of the races. Basically, you need a certain amount of points on every track in order to advance to the next race. Now, the point requirement is very loose. You don't need a ton. For instance, at this very first race that you're seeing, you only really need to get like at last place to progress to the next stage. It is really the further you get, the more you actually have to put in so that you can actually stick around in this race for longer. Because if you stumble and if you lose all bougies and the race, well, you're either disqualified, or either you move on or you don't. Yeah, but because the thing is, you don't actually are disqualified immediately. You can get disqualified, but only if that disqualification happens, and that happens only if you actually didn't gain enough points. You get basically no points when you're disqualified, but you're still in the race if you gained enough points beforehand, which is quite a good thing. Now, the courses themselves are actually pretty good. They're themed around summer, around waves, around the ocean. So obviously we got a fortress, we got a lake, we got a standard beach. It got plenty of variety and plenty of space, and yeah, it's just a very overall very pleasant experience. The music itself kicks absolute ass. This is like the perfect surfer dude soundtrack. Something you want to listen to while you're heading down in your car to the beach with your jet ski. And this is overall just a pretty well made experience. Essentially everything just works. And it was actually an impressive impressive very early launch title for this very console. And I very much appreciate it. But yes, yeah, kind of weird, like I said. There has only been one sequel released since then, Waver's Blue Storm, and that's it. And it was even more impressive than this one, but somehow it didn't really gain much of a following. Yeah, that's kind of sad when a game is doing really well on its first console and the sequel comes out and it's doing worse to the point where the game doesn't come out. Hey, but that's Nintendo, you know. They don't really want to milk their franchises. They only do franchises which they know they have good ideas to expand on. They aren't just like doing basically every other studio and just pumps out the same game each and every year because, oh, it was popular once, so it's popular twice. But no. So yeah, as you can see throughout this entire race, I did fine for most of it. I was only last place once. And the rest of them, well, I was at least around the midpoint throughout most of it. I was able to access the final race, and that is at this one, Southern Island. Unfortunately, as you can see, I only made it into the top 3, not the top 4. So I guess you can say, well, it sucks, but you know, you gotta try harder. And that is why it's a great game to pick up and play. You want to play it every once in a while to actually improve. Of course, there's no online scoring system, and there is only 2-player co-op. So it's not like you can play. You can get along with your friends and duke it out with 8 players. That's a bit much. But that doesn't mean that there ain't no entertainment value to have to it. This is a game which is easy to pick up and play and tough to master. And hey, if you like jet ski racers, then this is definitely a game to check out somehow. You know, play it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this very review of Wave Race 64, the remake of the original game review. I will be linking to that very review in the description below. And I will see you guys for the next review, whatever it becomes. Bye bye.